come lick with your boy, come late. Come and blow some trees with your boy, let's late. We can watch a flick if your boy come late. We can joyride and explore late. Baby, come lick with your boy, come late. Come and blow some trees with your boy, let's late. We can watch a flick if your boy come late. We can joyride and explore.
You're now tuned into Linked Up with Lux.
Yo, it's your boy Lux, and today's episode is called Welp, You Are Dead. That's a pretty crazy title, but life has always been interesting to me, ever since I was younger. It's like we're told that we have to go to school, to be successful. We're told we have to get a job to be successful. We're told we have to be able to provide, for our families and for ourselves. And it's pretty wild, being the age that I am now and just kind of looking around me at all of those people that, followed that path. You got to ask, like, are you fully where you want to be? Are you fully satisfied? Did your advice to me, if you took your own advice, get you to where you wanted to be? But most times, people that are telling you, that you have to follow the traditional path never followed that path themselves. And that's not me, bashing them or, taking the time to be like, well, you're no better than blah, blah, blah. It's just like usually how they say parents, should try to give or want for their children, a better life than they had, and maybe your parents were in survival mode. Maybe they didn't go to college. Maybe they were just, living paycheck to paycheck every single day, to provide for you, and they wanted you to have a better life. So of course they're going to tell you like, hey, like, don't, be like me, do better. Like, I want you to go to school and I want you to have a good career. And it's like, that's all fine. And I'm not knocking that. But it's like, when you really think about life, everything that we do every single day, what does it truly matter, when we're all gonna die? Now, this is a bigger conversation because there's different levels of life. I'm not saying that you should have no ambition. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have goals. I'm not saying that you shouldn't have a job and just go live on the street. But I guess I'm just on a bigger, picture. Like, I'm seeing the bigger picture when it comes to genuine happiness. Because I can tell you right now, me waking up every single day just to go to work does not make me happy. Me knowing I got bills that's going to take everything that I worked for out of my check, that doesn't make me happy. Now, if you're in a situation where all your finances are squared away, and you got it in the budget to pay for this and to pay for that and a roof over your head, and you got a little extra money, to do recreational things or things that you like, or, hobbies, or maybe you don't have kids. So instead of you buying, diapers and, wipes, you can, go and pick up whatever, go try a new restaurant, go buy a bag that you always wanted, go plan that trip that you always wanted. But it's like, when people try to say that kids are the reasoning why people aren't really living life, I mean, sure, financially, it might, hurt a little bit, and as far as responsibility, like clearly having your kids 24/7 or whenever you do 50-50, whatever the case may be, every other weekend, every other day. I mean, that can also kind of keep you stuck to a cycle, but that doesn't mean you can't plan things and, go out and live life. But the main point here is we're doing all of this every single day just to die. And it's a crazy, realization. And we wake up every single day, we're putting things off that, we could do to help boost our mood, because we're too busy stuck into a cycle. You have to go to work and pretend to like people for 8 hours. We have to deal with our stupid coworkers telling us pointless information, for that whole shift just because we have to be there, not really reflecting on the fact that we're behind on our bills, or, we don't really have all the rent money, or we're working all that we can, but we're not able to really, make the money that we wish we can make, maybe due to obligations, or just due to the low pay, or just due to everything just getting expensive. It's like we're all going to die. So why stress? What does it matter? Like, we're so overstressed as human beings that it's literally ridiculous. Think about all of the things that we stress over that are simply out of our control. And it's just like, rather it's romantically, dealing with people's drama, feeling as if, we have to, be involved with other people's problems. It's just so unnecessary. It's so unnecessary. And it's just crazy the cycle that we accept. The cycle that we accept in this thing called life. And it just does not sit right with me. Now, money, it's a big resource. If you have money, I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, you won't have any problems if you have money, but money talks. Now, of course, you can't buy love. Like, we're not talking about stuff like that. You can't buy genuine connections. We're not talking about none of that, It's just, when you have money, you have more power. You have the ability, to have a bigger influence, in comparison to if you don't have that much money. Let's just be honest, So it's like, we stress every day about this man-made currency, the lack of it, just to simply keep ourselves wrapped in a cycle. You wake up, get ready, work, home, repeat, and it's draining. It's literally draining, and time is going by, and we allow so much time to escape from us when we can be putting that time to a good cause. We can be utilizing our time more effectively. But when we got the weight of life just weighing us down because of what society thinks we should be doing, or where society thinks we should be, or what we shouldn't pursue in terms of our dreams because of what society may say, is crazy. Do you stop caring about what people think, stop caring about what people have, and just simply be your own happiness? Because when you die, it's not going to matter. People were so tuned into stupid, silly drama and conflict and things that don't have anything to do with them, and it's just draining them dry. You should be worrying about yourself. What can you do to make yourself happy? Yourself, not what you can do that other people would deem as being okay. Forget everybody else. How do you really want to live? Because again, when I was younger, if I would have knew life would have been like this and things would have got super expensive, I would have told you, keep that. I want to stay a kid. I don't want to have to struggle and simply just accept it because this is what society is telling us we have to do. Like, I don't want to have to be like that. And we are our biggest discouragers. Even if you got a whole room full of people telling you, hey, you're not going to be this. Hey, you shouldn't do that. Hey, well, I don't think you're going to be successful with that. Even if we have that The only person that can genuinely, truly stop us is ourselves. So we have to go hard, make time for the things that you are passionate about, and just go. Because when you're out of time, it's not going to matter. When you die, people aren't even going to care that much to keep your legacy alive. People always say, oh wow, that's so sad. Yeah, and they were real bright. They were ambitious, and then they get stuck back into their cycle of life. We all make choices in life. We all have to accept, the outcomes of our choices and our involvements with the people we might entangle ourselves with, the situations we might entangle ourselves in. But at the end of the day, you need to know your worth before it's too late. Stop letting any and everybody come into your circle. Stop letting people dump their problems on you when they're not willing to upbring you, uplift you, and it's mutual. Because people love to dump their baggage on someone else just so they can have someone to vent to, just so they can have someone to hear their problems. But the sooner you realize that other people's problems are not your problem, you will live a better life. You can't fix every single issue. You can't help every single person. And that's a general statement. I mean, that's like me walking into the gas station with my last $5 and a homeless man, he's like, or woman, they're like, hey, you got some money? Whole time, I do got some money. But sir, ma'am, I'm poor. Okay? I might not be exactly where you are in terms of not having a roof over my head, but I need my little $5. I mean, I get it. I got a car, okay? Like, the entitlement is crazy out here for people, so that's why you have to put yourself first, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they can based on their circumstances. And I get that, but I don't want you to ever fall that low. I need you to lock in. I need you to think about what makes you happy. What is it that you want to accomplish? What is it that you genuinely want to do? And start doing it. Stop putting the little things off because you feel like, I got time. I got time. I got time. Because one day you are going to die. You want to go on a walk? Oh, I don't got time. I just got off work. You want to try a new restaurant? Oh, I don't got time. It's been a long day. You want to take your kids out and have some fun? Oh, I don't got time. I just don't have time. Kids are not going to be kids forever. That's one thing people need to realize, and think about how fast that happens. Because children go from babies to toddlers to teenagers to adults so quick, but think about the amount of time that has genuinely passed. So throughout that duration, how many chances did you actually take to take a step back and be like, I'm going to soak in this moment. I'm going to take my kid to that event. We're going to go to something like Chuck E. Cheese or an arcade or something like that. Because by the time they go from babies, they're toddlers. And they're fun and they're dependent on you and they're dada, mama, and they want to be around you all day. And then they start to get a little older. And then it's like that connection fades away. You feel like they're shutting you out. But in that moment, you're taking the time to be like, well, what's going on? Like, I'm your parent. Like, talk to me. They don't want to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. You have to live in a moment. You have to accept and embrace every little thing on your journey and make time for the things that matter. Because when you run out of time, it's going to be too late. That's the same with kids, like I said. It's the same with your goals because we're only getting older. That's the same with love, you know. Take a chance. Work on yourself. Try to give someone else a chance that aligns with you. And again, I know I'm all over the place, but life is a general thing. There's so many different aspects. Make time. Because when you run out of time, there's no going back. Make that post for that business that you want to start or that you have. You bake, you cook, you do hair, you knit, like whatever. You draw. Put yourself out there and don't care what anyone says. But don't just simply put yourself out there and just let it sit. You need to believe in yourself so hard to the point where you are so consistent. If you don't believe in yourself, how can you expect others to? I get it. People may say they lack motivation because the lack of engagement. But you got to start somewhere or you're going to end up like everybody else who wakes up, punches a clock, and claims they hate their job and they hate their life. If you were to talk to the majority of older people, a lot of them, they're probably dealing with a lot of elderly issues. And they probably feel like they did everything right that they could. But ask them, do they regret anything? Because you still have time. And if you're young, you still have time. You have way more time. You have whatever, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years over a person that's older than you to actually lock in, take control of your life, and stop living so typical. This life that we live, that we know, it has its ups and its downs. But stop comparing yourself to the people around you because you never know what's really on the other side. And put yourself first. Because when you're dead, nothing is going to matter. Nobody's going to remember you. Just live your life. Be kind to one. Be kind to two. Be kind to three. Be kind to four. Be kind to 100 different people. And that will take you far. Be humble. But also, don't miss out on your opportunity to take control of your life and do what it is that you actually want to do. It's your boy Lux. I'm out.